Take camera 2.
Hello and welcome to the November 8th, 2012 edition of Newswatch.
Mic anchors?
I'm Mike Ramirez.
And I'm Rachel Cizik. Tonight, find out how voters are responding to new measures that were recently passed.
Take CG.
Also, find out about a serious illness that has had multiple confirmed cases in Kittitas County.
Ready to roll VTR.
All this and more coming up on Newswatch.
Take VTR. Go back to camera 2. Take camera 2.
President Obama was elected for another term with 303 electoral votes over Mitt Romney's 206. Democrats are in charge of the Senate and Republicans are leading the House of Representatives.
Ready, camera 3.
In a more local setting, Republican Matthew Manweller has secured a seat in the State House of Representatives.
Stand by, ready to roll VTR.
Also, voters in Washington will still require to get 2/3 majority vote from the legislature to raise taxes, but it is unclear whether charter schools will be allowed in the state.
Take camera 3.
At the state level, voters approved gay marriage and the legalization of marijuana. Washington is now one of 2 states that approves the recreational use of marijuana, with Colorado being the other. Newswatch reporter Corey Smith has more on the story.
Take VT3.
With a high turnout of voters, one of the biggest issues in Washington state was whether or not the recreational use of marijuana would pass and what it exactly means.
How is the federal government going to weigh in on this?
After talking with students throughout campus, the legalization of marijuana comes with controversy.
I think that the initiative will be really interesting because now if you're 21 years of age or older, you can go to Washington licensed stores that just sell marijuana and you can buy up to an ounce and it's not illegal. The only issue I have is now that there's a 25% sales tax, we're paying a bit more for this marijuana.
The recreational use of marijuana goes into effect December 6th, later this year. Same-sex marriage also has passed in Washington, but there seems to be less controversy surrounding this issue.
I do support R74 for gay marriages. I voted for it, and I believe people should have a right to be happy and to be together. Like, all heterosexuals are allowed to be together, and I believe gay marriages should be allowed to have the same right.
Washington becomes the 9th state, along with Washington, D.C., to allow same-sex marriage. I'm Corey Smith, reporting for Newswatch.
Take camera 2.
Sure, a lot of changes happening in our state coming up.
There are. It is definitely interesting to hear students' opinions, though.
It really is.
With election season over, the topic of politics is still on the minds of most Americans.
This topic usually shows a split in our nation's viewpoints, but it wasn't that long ago since our nation truly was divided.
Look down. Take VT3.
At Central Washington University's Brooks Library, history is coming alive with its newest exhibit, Civil War 150, exploring the war and its meaning through the words of those who lived it. The Brooks Library is one of only 50 libraries in the nation to receive this exhibit dedicated to the 150th anniversary of the Civil War, chronicling the major milestones throughout this historic war. In addition to the exhibit, the library will also host speeches by authors Daniel Herman on November 15th and Mark Auslander on the 19th. The display focuses primarily on the struggles that the American people went through as the nation fought amongst itself in this bloody conflict that would tarnish our history as we know it. Though many people lost their lives and suffered greatly during this time, we must never forget the price our nation has paid for the freedom and civil liberties we enjoy today.
Take camera 3.
This display is free to the public and will be featured in the Brooks Library on CWU's campus until November 19th.
Take camera 2.
In breaking news, according to the Kittitas County Sheriff's Department, a 17-year-old Kittitas County resident suffered a non-life-threatening gunshot wound to the chest. Latest reports said the victim is in stable condition, but local schools in the area were under lockdown after the incident.
The shooting is still under investigation, and local law enforcement is working with those close to the victim to gather more information on the incident. If you have information regarding the case, please contact the Kittitas County Sheriff's Department at 509-962-7525. Some pretty scary stuff there.
Very, very scary. I was scared when I heard about it.
Oh, same here. Hopefully they catch the guy.
I do hope so. Cases of a life-threatening, contagious illness have been reported recently in Ellensburg.
When Newswatch returns, we'll tell you what symptoms you should be on the lookout for.
Stay tuned.
Take BT3.
Know what?
Take camera 2.
Welcome back to Newswatch. Whooping cough is back in the county. According to the Kittitas County Public Health Department, a whooping cough case was confirmed in an adult working at a local child care center. Children have been ordered to not go back to the center for 21 days, and the parents of the children who were in contact with the adult have been notified.
Whooping cough, also known as pertussis, is especially dangerous to children under 1 year old and can be fatal. There have been over 4,000 cases of whooping cough in Washington this year, and last year 2 infants died of the illness. Symptoms include sore throat, runny nose, low-grade fever, and a mild cough that can sometimes be followed with a high-pitched whoop when inhaling.
The health department recommends that everyone should stay current with their vaccinations. These vaccinations are available at most healthcare providers, pharmacies, as well as Kittitas County Public Health Department.
Ellensburg has more construction starting in downtown. D&M Coffee owners Mark Holloway and Donna Malik plan to open a pizza business in the spring. Construction has already began on a lot at the corner of 5th and Sprague in downtown Ellensburg. The restaurant is going to provide brick wood-fired pizza. D&M Coffee have met coffee needs in Ellensburg since 1990, and they supply many businesses and events with coffee.
Take camera 2.
Last Saturday, the Department of Ecology offered $200 to residents in the Ellensburg area just for bringing in old wood stoves. The stoves had to be in working order and clean. The recent event was in part of an effort to improve air quality and motivate people to consider cleaning home heating options. The 71 wood stoves were collected and sent to Seattle for recycling.
Take camera 1.
A former Ellensburg Rodeo barrelman, J.J. Harrison, has been chosen as the barrelman for Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. Harrison has been the barrelman for Sisters Rodeo in Oregon since 2007 and has also worked at Crooked River Roundup, Columbia River Circuit Finals Rodeo, and Montana Pro Rodeo Circuit Finals, as well as the Ellensburg Rodeo. Being chosen for the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo is one of the top honors a barrelman can receive. The National Rodeo will take place in Las Vegas this December.
Take camera 2.
Many drivers are making their way across Snoqualmie Pass have faced traffic stops as a result of the rock blasting and construction.
That's right, but last Friday, the construction came to an end with crews finishing striping between North Bend and Ellensburg. Construction on the pass has been steady since April, with crews closing down the pass 29 times.
This project is an effort that will widen a 5-mile stretch of the highway from 4 to 6 lanes and is due to be completed in 2017. I know I'll be glad when they finish the road work. Heading back to the west side is such a hassle with all that traffic.
It really is. I know exactly what you mean. After we take a short break, we'll have an update on the other major thing that can influence your travel plans, with winter weather heading our way.
We'll be right back in 90 seconds with this next week's forecast.
Take BT3.
Welcome back to Newswatch. This week, Rachel Cizek will be bringing us our weather at the desk. What does it look like for us, Rachel?
Take camera 1.
Thanks, Mike. We've had some pretty nice weather this last week, but it looks like our cold weather is beginning soon. Today we are looking at a high of 49 degrees and mostly sunny, and tonight we'll have a low of 29 with partly cloudy skies. We will have a slight north wind at about 8 miles per hour throughout the day. The sunset this evening will be at 4:35 p.m., which is something to get used to with the new time change. Now going to our statewide weather for tomorrow. Here in Ellensburg, we are looking at a high of 39 and a low of 29 and mostly cloudy. In Spokane, we will have cloudy skies with a high of 35 and a low of 25. In Yakima, we will have partly cloudy skies with a high of 43 and a low of 27. At Moses Lake, we will have partly cloudy skies with a high of 39 and a low of 26. Heading over to the west side of the mountains, in Seattle and Olympia, we are looking at mostly sunny skies with a high of 47 and a low of 36. At Bellingham, we will have clear skies with a high of 44 and a low of 33. Over at Ocean Shores, we will also have clear skies with a high of 49 and a low of 32. Across the state, we will have some cold air coming in from the north with a low pressure system from Alaska, bringing us colder temperatures throughout the week. Let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. Like I said earlier, tomorrow in Ellensburg, we'll have a high of 39 and a low of 29 and mostly cloudy. Saturday, we are looking at partly cloudy skies with a high of 38 and a low of 24. On Sunday, we will have mostly cloudy skies again with a high of 40 and a low of 28. Monday, we might see some rain and snow showers with a high of 41 and a low of 30. And Tuesday, we are looking at partly cloudy with a high of 43 and a low of 29. As for past conditions, at Sadis Pass, there is a chance of snow showers with temperatures in the 30s. At Blewett Pass, we will have a 30% chance of snow showers with highs in the 30s and lows in the 20s. Over at Stevens Pass, we will have a chance of rain and snow showers with the snow level nearing 1,500 feet over the weekend. At Snoqualmie Pass, the snow level will also be nearing 1,500 feet over the weekend with a chance of rain and snow showers. So overall, it looks like we might get a small taste of winter weather the next week, especially with overnight lows reaching below freezing temperatures, so make sure you bundle up.
Especially bundle up if you're heading out to see Central's last home football game this weekend. After the break, Sean Wells will be joining us on news from sports around the world.
Stay with us.
Take VT3. Camera 2.
Welcome back to Newswatch. Now for our sports. Wonder how many touchdown passes Central's quarterback threw last week.
And I heard the Sounders have a playoff game this weekend. Tonight, I mean.
So, will Eddie Johnson play tonight?
We now have Sean Wells here to fill us in.
Thanks, Mac and Rachel. It was an offensive showcase out at Tomlinson Stadium last Saturday. The Wildcats won a close one last weekend against Western Oregon University. Senior quarterback Ryan Robertson threw the game-winning touchdown to senior receiver Anthony Spain with 3 minutes left, giving Central the lead for good. Robertson completed 23 of 29 passes for 240 yards and a season-high 3 touchdowns to defeat the Wolves, 36-32. The Wildcats finished the 2012 regular season this Saturday at home against Dixie State. The home game on Saturday will be the last time to cheer on the seniors. Kickoff is set for noon.
Take camera 1.
In other sports news, the Wildcat basketball got underway last Friday in Moscow, Idaho. Central faced off against the University of Idaho in an exhibition match. The Wildcats lost the game 92-75, but kept the play close in the second half, trailing only by 1, 54-53 with 15 minutes left. CWU was led by junior transfer Mark McLaughlin, scoring 28 points in his Wildcat debut. Central opens the regular season this Friday against Azusa Pacific University. The Seattle Sounders travel to Salt Lake City tonight to face off against Real Salt Lake. The match is the second leg of a home-and-home playoff series. The Sounders and Real Salt Lake were held scoreless in Seattle in their first match last Sunday. The winner of tonight's match will move on to the Western Conference Finals. The Sounders are hoping for an offensive boost in their second leg from their leading goal scorer, Eddie Johnson. Johnson missed the first leg with a hamstring injury. The Seahawks and the 12th man are ready to welcome the New York T-Bows to CenturyLink Field this Sunday. That's right. The most popular reserve in the NFL is heading to Seattle and bringing the rest of the Jets with them. The Hawks are looking to head into the next week's bye with a back-to-back home wins. The Jets are looking for a win to turn their season around after 2 straight losses to New England and Miami. Look for Hawks QB Russell Wilson to throw a little more in this game as head coach Pete Carroll seems to be opening up this playbook. Oh, and when Tim Tebow's in, watch the run.
Take camera 2.
Thanks for that update, Sean.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up after the break, we'll have this week's Kid Pick.
And find out the strange reason why a man is suing his wife in court. The answer will surprise you.
Look down, take VT3. Take camera 2. Ready, still start.
Welcome back to Newswatch.
Now for this week's Kid Pick.
This pick is from Ronan Stewart.
Take still start.
It looks like a awesome rainbow right there.
I like the little pumpkin. Great job, Ronan.
You know what that pumpkin is reminding me of? Pumpkin pie. I cannot wait for Thanksgiving.
Me too. I'm making pumpkin spice muffins this weekend.
Really?
They're going to be tasty.
So, do you feel like sharing this with the Newswatch team by chance?
Maybe.
Oh,
if there's any left.
All right. Well, I'll keep my hopes up for that. All right. In other local news, last weekend, students at Ellensburg High School put on their costumes, and they became the characters in Alice in Wonderland. The school had an opening this weekend, and the fall play last Friday and Saturday this weekend. They'll put on finishing out the play in performances at 7 o'clock on Friday, performances at 2 and 7 on Saturday at the Ellensburg High School Little Theater.
Take camera 2.
That is such a neat play to do, and what a great opportunity for the public to go out and support the arts.
It really is. You know what? I've seen it before. It was an excellent show, and I'm really looking forward to see it at the Ellensburg High School.
It would be neat. I bet the costumes are neat for that one, actually.
I bet it is. I wonder if they'll have special effects flying around.
It might be. That would be neat. Well, in some odd news from around the world, a Chinese man sued his now ex-wife because she had an ugly daughter. Apparently, the man's wife had gone through plastic surgery before they ever met. Crazily enough, the judge ruled in his favor because his wife married him under false pretenses.
Yikes.
The man's wife was ordered to pay him $120,000 in damages.
I wonder how you set a price on that.
I think that's crazy. And I mean, how do they, like, plastic surgery? It's more common now.
You know
So I wonder.
I feel sorry
don't
for the
know.
child.
I
Do you
do
think they'll grow up
too.
knowing that their dad won a suit on that?
For being ugly, that's terrible.
Well, hopefully that's not the case when they grow up.
I hope so.
All right. On a more serious note, in case you forgot, Veterans Day is this upcoming Sunday.
You should take a moment and reflect on all the lives lost and sacrifices our soldiers have made in the past wartime.
From all of us here at the Newswatch team, Central Washington University, and Kittitas County, we salute and thank you very much to all American veterans.
Finish out the script.
That's all the time we have for this edition of Newswatch.
It's your news by Central students for our community.
Ready the final
And
VT3.
if you missed any part of this newscast, you can catch us on Channel 2 and 14, Thursdays at 4, 7, and 11 p.m. And if you're watching us on Channel 14, it's now produced and ran fully by the students of Central Washington University.
If you have missed any previous newscast, visit our CWU Newswatch channel on YouTube.
From all of us on the Newswatch team, good night, Kittitas County.
Camera 2, please fade out. Do the thing where you look at each other and pretend like you're talking. And take VT3.
I know.